Hey, so what is a good CTR for Google Ads? Good question. Okay, so we're going to go through it, and I've gone through a few articles so far, top ranking articles on Google, and they point to all sorts of places. WordStream has a study, then LocalIQ has a study that they actually got from WordStream, and then this guy says that it's HubSpot and all this kind of stuff. So what is true? Let's just take it from WordStream or on LocalIQ. Let's have a look quickly and see if it's really true. You know, that's one of the big things. You have a look at these numbers and you think, okay, well, is that real, or is that, you know, actually the industry standard? So let's have a look. So as we're going through, you've got animals and pets, 8.12%. Let's go through some clients that I have. Okay, so let's go through dental services, 5.34%. Is that real? Is that like top of the range? Let's see. So according to ChatGPT, 3.6%, and of course they're getting the data from other places. Let's have a look in real campaigns. So we can see that it's 5.4%, and we're using a lot of Performance Max campaigns. So if we have a look at the Performance Max, usually Performance Max historically has very low CTR just because it's pumped out to so many people and the impressions are really, really high. But in this case, it's a bit of an outlier. The CTR is at 8 to 9%. It's actually quite good for Performance Max campaigns. Okay, so, you know, some campaigns, they're way above what is considered normal on this, 5.34%, whilst other ones are right down. But this is kind of like a normal CTR for Performance Max, so it's a bit strange. Okay, let's go back. Let's have a look at let's say home improvement, like lawn services or something like that, 4.8%. Okay, so I open up client quickly. We can see it's 2.7%. Now, the only reason I would see that it's 2.7% is usually because there's Performance Max campaigns. So let's take a look. We can see that 1.8% on a Performance Max, which is totally normal. Like I expect it to be lower or higher than that just. We can see that we've got a search. Okay, we can have a look at that. It's 9.5%. So it's way over. Is it over? Let's have a look. 4.8%. So yeah, it's over. But other campaigns aren't doing as well. You know, if you have a look, you can see that this one here, that's actually doing really well. Like lawn care is doing really well. But these ones are around more the threshold. This one here has a Performance Max low. So they're okay, but again, depending on the campaign, usually Performance Max, you can expect it around to 1 to 2%. Do not expect it to always hit around a 9 or 10%. It's just not ideal because how Performance Max works is it pushes your ads to YouTube, to Gmail, to other third-party websites, to search, like on Google search. So it blasts out to all these places and your impressions go up really high, so therefore your CTR goes down, right? Your click-through rate naturally. And normally the case across most industries, you can expect that your search campaigns have really high CTR. But in this case, it's actually lower than the PMax, so that's quite interesting. But historically, normally they are much, much higher. I think we were running a search campaign here, 16.99%. Okay, so that just means the ads are super relatable to the searches. Okay, so whether or not this is true, I think it's pretty valid. I think these numbers are it's hard to say in terms of the new campaigns out now. Like a display campaign would have totally different CTR. Like a display campaign, you'd have 0.5% for a certain niche. Maybe you're pushing out a SaaS product and just it's not something that people are directly looking for. It's more of on third-party websites, so the CTRs can be super low. Whereas search campaigns is different. So it would have been great if they could have had a breakdown of the actual search campaigns versus, display ads versus Performance Max, all this kind of stuff. Okay, so this is average cost per lead, all this kind of stuff. So let's go back up to the CTRs. So we've got the average click-through rate. I think these are pretty good numbers, to be honest. I think they're pretty accurate. They're not 100% accurate for every use case. I'm sure there's a lot of agencies doing way below these numbers because they don't know how to run Google Ads. But in a nutshell, it really just depends on your industry and what's normal and considering Is it a search campaign? Is it Performance Max? Set your expectations. Just because it says, 11% here, and you're running a Performance Max and it's like 2% CTR, it does not mean that you're doing bad, right? In all intents and purposes, as long as your conversion rate is decent, as your cost per conversion is all right, then you can kind of start to judge it around that. But anyway, that's my take. I hope that helped. If you've got any questions, let me know in the video below. Thank you.